but he's have to contribute too much.
That is correspondent Jeremy House reporting. Authorities say 16 migrants from Venezuela and Haiti are dead following a bus crash in southern Mexico. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com.
This is Ian with AccuClean. With the holiday season gatherings with friends and family quickly approaching, now is the perfect time to get your carpets, rugs, and upholstery cleaned. AccuClean is a veteran-owned and local carpet cleaning company located in the Midlands for over 20 years. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 to make sure your carpets are refreshed this holiday season. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. We hope to see you soon.
Okay,
High School Football Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. Coming up, scores and reports from across the state and analysis from David Shelton. The Scoreboard is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now your host for the High School Scoreboard, Phil Kornblut.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome into Sports Talk High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union on this very nice Friday night across the state of South Carolina. Phil Kornblut and J.P. Barry at our studios right here in downtown Columbia, all set to bring you the scores from across the state. Got a bunch of finals in. A lot of blowouts tonight. Got some interstate scores out there to talk about. Looking for some tight ones, looking for some drama out there as we head towards the midway point of October, down the stretch of region play, and looking ahead to the playoffs, playoff positioning, and all of that. Looking forward to hearing from reporters across the states with updates on their games and some coaches as well. In fact, we're going to have a hot call. Here in just a moment from Billy Baker, who was at a Skeeza game tonight, a Skeeza-Plesia football game. Lawrence Manning, Porter Goud. Lawrence Manning wins it. Big game in Skeeza. Lawrence Manning wins it 23-14. We'll get to Billy in just a moment. He'll have a coach standing by. Some other finals that we've posted to this point. Chester, 60. Union County, nothing. Clover, 48. Spring Valley, nothing. C.A. Johnson, 52. Great Falls, 6. Daniel, 56. West Oak, nothing. Andrew Jackson, 56. Chesterfield, nothing. Bamberg Earhart, 62. Branchville, 7. Last night, Nation Ford beat Blythewood 34-28. Clearwater, Florida International defeated Gray Collegiate. Gray Collegiate was supposed to play Fairfield Central. Fairfield Central forfeits. Gray Collegiate scheduling outside the state. This Clearwater Academy, David Shelton told us they are a powerful football team. Collegiate hung in there but lost 34-27. Hampton County, 54. Edisto, nothing. Hunter, Connor, Tyler, 51. Williston, Elko, nothing. We do have the hot call. We do have Billy Baker and Billy of the High School Sports Report at Lawrence Manning, Porter Gown. Lawrence Manning wins at 23-14. Good evening, Billy.
Yeah. Hey, Phil, I'm live with LMA head coach Will First here at LMA. Porter Gown came into the game tonight 6-1. Their only loss was to Hanahan High School last week by 7. They have a outstanding junior running back who averaged 12 yards a carry, but not tonight. He might have averaged 4 or 5 yards a carry. Porter Gown led 14-7 at the half, but in the third quarter, Jackson Brunson intercepted the pass, and LMA came down the field. One of the keys for LMA, Tyler June, came back for his senior year. He's a shortstop and a prospect who signed with USC in baseball, got a cannon for an arm. He was key tonight with his passing and his running, but it's a 23-14 win. And now I give you Will First, the coach at LMA, who'll tell you all about the game.
All right, thank you, Billy.
Hey, Phil, how's it going?
Coach, good evening. Congratulations. That's a terrific win. Billy mentioned the defense on the running back. Tell us more about that. What particular moves did you make to shut down the running game?
Well, I wish I could say they were my moves, but it was our guys. They tackled as a unit. We were flying to the football, making it hard on them. We got them to put the ball on the ground a few times, and just we wanted them to earn everything they got. We weren't going to make it easy on them. And our guys, they executed the game plan. I'm extremely proud of the team right now.
Offensively, who stood out for you? What worked for you offensively?
It wasn't our most productive night offensively, but we did just enough. We were able to throw the ball for about 90 yards, but they were at some key moments. We were down 14-0 late in the second quarter. Had a little 2-minute drive right before half to get a touchdown. Tyler June had a 12-yard pass to Josiah Burson, and then we came out, got a stop on defense, and scored quickly. And that kind of set the tone from there. We had a really good game after that, and Tyler June had an excellent game. Josiah Burson, like I said, Jackson Brunson had some huge catches. Bryson Smith ran the ball hard. It was a total team victory. I can't really single one guy out.
Sure. How do you feel you guys stand overall now in your division of Skeeza as you look down towards the end of the season here? How do you see this team factoring in playoff-wise and, perhaps making a run to a state finals?
That's our goal. That's our goal every year. We've played in 4 out of the last 5, I believe. So, that's kind of our culture here. We expect to be there. We played Hammond really tough a couple weeks ago. It was 7-6 in the fourth quarter. So that gave our guys some confidence. There's some really good teams in this league, though. Cardinal Newman and Hammond had a huge game tonight. And us and Porter Gal, we're all fighting for home field advantage in the playoffs. And, but that's a little bit out of our control. We're just out here trying to get better every day, and every Friday night play our best. And if we can do that, we'll let the chips fall where they may.
Who's up next for you?
We are at Augusta Christian next Friday.
All right. Congrats once again. Thank you for joining us. Thank Billy for giving us a call. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Phil. Thanks for all you do.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. All right. There you go. Story on Lawrence Manning's win. Will First, the coach, going to be a factor moving forward in the playoffs. Allendale Fairfax gets a homecoming night win over Bethune-Bowman, 36-0. That final score. Give you some other finals. Dillon, 42, Ainer, 16. Sherraw, 63, Central, 13. Carolina Forest, 49. Conway, 17. Marion, 34. King Street, nothing. South Carolina's team, the mighty Vikings of Latta, shutting out Hannah Pamplico tonight, bouncing back from that heartbreaking defeat last week. Coming back with a vengeance over Hannah Pamplico. Some might say Pamplico, but it's Pamplico. 33-0. Mighty Vikes. Loris, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't play favorites, but come on. It's my alma mater. I got to have something to root for. Don't have the Yankees to root for. Got to have something to root for. Loris, 48. Waccamaw, 3. Manning, 40. Georgetown, 13. Myrtle Beach, they're back. Remember they were left for dead after their season opening loss? They beat Hartsville tonight, 24-21. And South Florence beat Wilson 51-14. It's Buford, 41. Battery Creek, 6. Cane Bay, 16. Stratford, 14. Somerville, 69. Stall, nothing. Ashley Ridge beat West Ashley 31-0. Williamsburg Academy 26, Buford Academy 13, Dorchester Academy 38, Patrick Henry 23, Northside Christian 34, Anderson Cavaliers 2, Wilson Hall 52, PD Academy 14, Pinewood Prep 35, Florence Christian 12. Ben Lippen beat Trinity Collegiate 22-18. Dorman over Malden 26-12. And with that said, let's go back to our callers standing out in their fields tonight. We appreciate it very much. As we have coming up, Garrett Mitchell. Garrett getting to us early tonight. He must have a late date or something. Calling in from the... Well, you're usually late. This is Woodruff and Emerald tonight. Woodruff must have won. That's why you're calling in so quickly.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got in a pretty good spot to get to my phone a little bit quicker tonight. But, Phil, you're absolutely right. The Wolverines got back into the win column tonight. But I'll tell you what, I don't know that there were enough defibrillators in the city of Greenwood for all of the coronaries that Woodruff fans nearly had tonight. In my 22-odd years of being on the sidelines for Woodruff football, easily one of the top 2 or 3 most thrilling games I've ever seen. And Woodruff quite literally pulled it out of the fire. I don't know that there's any other way to describe it. 36-35 was the final.
Woo!
And Woodruff trailed 35-28 with 7 seconds to play in the ball game. The ball was at the Emerald 6-yard line. You figure maybe get 2 plays out of that. Emerald sent some pressure. Woodruff quarterback T.J. Morris had to scramble to his right. He let go of the ball as time expired. Found his junior wide receiver Hunter West in the front right corner of the end zone. And that touchdown made it 35-34. Well, conventional wisdom, it's a region game. You've got potential playoff seeding on the line. Do you kick it or go for the win? Well, Woodruff coach Brett Sloan rolled the dice, went for 2, and called the absolute perfect play. Morris rolled to his right, turned back through to his left. It had baited the entire Emerald defense to his side of the field. Woodruff's 6'6" sophomore tight end Cam Taylor was standing all alone in the middle of the end zone. All he had to do was just not drop it. He didn't drop it. Woodruff walks it off 36-35.
Wow. What's the celebration like?
I tell you what, it was for a young group of kids that have taken their beatings and taken their lumps, and you had to feel like or you knew they felt down on themselves, finding any way to scratch and claw a win. It was an unparalleled celebration. I mean, for all that these young Wolverines cared, it could have been the state championship game tonight because, frankly, it was the weight of the world that was lifted off of their shoulders. For them, it didn't matter how they did it. It was just that they did it. And credit to Emerald. They're better than their 0-7 record. They played a tough game. Keith Holloway, Emerald quarterback, runs like a grown man, and it's just a great kid on top of it. And they were right there. And they had a chance to win, Phil. And, I think what set it up, and I'll turn it by now, we got other callers waiting. Emerald scored to go up 35-28 with a little under 3 minutes to play. And Emerald coach Tad Dubose elected to fake the extra point, lined up to kick it, tried to run a fake, and when the holder took the snap, he popped up to throw it. The only problem was he was on the ground. And so the conversion at that point is no good. Woodruff gets one more crack at it, trailing by 7. Obviously, they score, decide to go for 2, and they walk it off. So just so many plot twists that went around this game, but it was incredible to watch that finish.
What's up next?
Well, it gets a little bit tougher, Phil. Woodruff returns home, their final home game, and senior night, they've got the Clinton Red Devils coming in. Clinton's on a bye this week, so they'll be rested, and they'll probably be chomping at the bit. So it's a rivalry game, obviously, 2 schools 20 minutes apart. I think this will be somewhere along the lines of the 80th something meeting all time between Woodruff and Clinton. It's a big night. There's a lot on the line still for both teams. So let's start the countdown to next Friday night. It's going to be a big one.
Look forward to it, my man. Thanks for the report. Have a great weekend.
You as well, Phil. Good night.
What a ball game. What a ball game win for Woodruff. And they pull it out with the last-second touchdown and the 2-point conversion. What a ball game there. Give you a couple of quick scores. The White Knoll Dutch Fork game. I only have one score. Move your cursor there so I can see the other score. There we go. Oh, my. Is that right? White Knoll beat Dutch Fork 17-14. What a win for White Knoll.
It was a dramatic effect.
Oh, is that what that was? Going to make me pause and wonder. So White Knoll stays undefeated. That is 5 losses for Dutch Fork now. They're 2-5. And White Knoll, what a defensive effort. 17-14 over Dutch Fork tonight. Wow. Give you some other finals real quick before we go to our break. These are fresh finals. St. James beat Socastee in the 707 rivalry game, Highway 707 down there. St. James 40, Socastee 35, Dorman 26, Malden 12, Hanahan 55, North Charleston 12, Bamberg Earhart 62, Branchville 7, Ashley Ridge 31, West Ashley 20, 96-42 Landrum 14, Newberry 35, Mid Carolina nothing, McBee 56, Whitmire 20, Westside 52, Pickens 7, Gilbert 60, Swansea nothing, Hammond beat Cardinal Newman 35-20, Greenville 56, Berea nothing, Clover 48, Spring Valley nothing, Midland Valley 56, Airport 7, Keenan 53, Columbia nothing, Abbeville 56, Chesney 15, Williamsburg Academy 26, Beaufort Academy 13, Wilson Hall 52, PD Academy 14, Wren 50, Southside nothing, Manning 40, Georgetown 13, Northwestern 45, Indian Land 14, Strom Thurmond 48, Saluda 3, Camden 41, Darlington 6, Marion 34, Kingstree nothing, Dorchester Academy 38, Patrick Henry 23, Dillon 42, Ainer 16, Powdersville 61, Fountain Inn 14, Irmo 38, Ridgeview 6, Carolina Forest 49, Conway 17, Buford 41, Battery Creek 6, Loris 48, Waccamaw 3. It was Lamar 34, Green Sea Floyd's nothing, Cheraw 63, Central 13, Pillion 21, Fox Creek 3. John Paul II, 47, Hilton Head Prep 14. It's, I'm looking for fresh. I think we've covered everything with that rundown. There you go. So we'll go to our opening break here on the high school scoreboard. Shortly, David Shelton will be joining us. Can't wait to get his thoughts on some of these games. We'll get more finals to you, and we'll hear from more tremendous reporters standing by to give us the results from their games tonight. Looking forward to hearing what they have to say. Off and running with a great Friday night here on the High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Back in a moment.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with the family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at sccattle.org. Beef, it's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff Program.
Farm Bureau Insurance's agriculture roots and ties to South Carolina farmers have shaped the company's culture and work ethic, providing a unique customer experience. Customers are treated like people, not policies. Now, while other insurance companies may have a one-size-fits-all approach to handling customers, we believe you need to be valued and treated right. Our claims professionals work until the job is done, and our agents still believe in the commitments that comes with a handshake. Call Buddy Bridges in Clinton and Lawrence at 864-923-2174 for all of your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
Hello, friends. This is David Shelton, co-host of the Friday Night Scoreboard Show with Phil Kornblue. As many of you know my story, I've lost 2 sons to drug overdoses in the past 10 years. I want to tell you about my friends at Wake Up Carolina. Wake Up Carolina is a nonprofit recovery community organization dedicated to providing awareness, promoting education, and creating hope in recovery for our young adults, individuals, and families touched by substance use through collaborative community partnerships, trusted resources, and support services in Berkeley, Charleston, and Dorchester counties. The organization relies on private donors and state funding to make sure all their resources are free and open to the public. Call them today if you know someone who needs assistance. That's wakeupcarolina.org. Phone number 843-972-8154. Don't wait until it's too late.
Relax with an auto loan from Founders Federal Credit Union. Here at Founders, we understand that it's more than just a vehicle. It's a part of your life's journey, from hobbies changing to families growing. It's with you along the way. Our low fixed rates can get you on the road in a ride that fits your life. Not sure what you want? Apply early for a pre-approved spending limit so you know what to look for before you start shopping. Head over to one of our 41 convenient office locations or visit foundersfcu.com to apply for an auto loan today. Federally insured by NCUA. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, back we are on the high school football scoreboard here on the Sports Talk Media Network. Appreciate you being with us tonight. White Knoll beat Dutch Fork. How about that? Think on that. Dutch Fork, 5 losses. They lose tonight 17-14. I can't wait to get David's take on that when he joins us in a little bit. Let's get some more reporters on the air, guys who are standing by. Thomas Grant over at the Irmo game tonight. Irmo, my goodness, what a year they're having. Got to consider them as a tremendous threat, a true threat to win it all this year with their outstanding quarterback. Thomas, welcome in. Appreciate you being with us tonight. Tell us about the Yellow Jackets and their big win tonight.
Yeah, interesting enough, you talk about, before I get to that, you talk about Dutch Fork. You know, the last team to beat Dutch Fork in region play was ironically Ridgeview, and they did that 8 years ago next week. So, unfortunately, they didn't have that much success tonight because, like you said, Irmo, that train just keeps rolling again, 38-6 tonight. A.J. Brand had 4 touchdowns, 2 spectacular touchdown passes to Donovan Murph, where he basically was able to catch the ball and just, it was like he was catching it in a closet almost, the way the ball was thrown to him. And then, of course, he had 2 rushing touchdowns for Brand, but really the story tonight was the defense. I mean, they collected 3 interceptions, including a pick 6 for 28 yards by Markel Lewis off of Braylon Boyd, who went into this game, had not thrown a single interception all year. And he ended up throwing 2 in the first half tonight. He ended up getting pulled in the second half for Trey Howard, who ended up throwing the 3rd interception in the end zone. And for the most part, their defense really just shut down. Ridgeview just kept, really the only drive they had was at the end where they had a final drive which was extended because of a targeting hit. And from there, they were able to get a rushing touchdown from Sia Mack with about 38 seconds left. But beyond that, it was basically business as usual for Irmo because, this is like 7 games now, and they beat every opponent by at least 30 or more points.
Their defense, we talk a lot about the quarterback, but their defense can't be overlooked, right? They're pretty good on defense.
They're very athletic. They have really some guys who are really aggressive out there. In particular, he talked about his linebackers all the time. Guys like your Little Favor. In the secondary, you have Isaiah McCrary. You also have tonight with Markel Lewis, and you also had Matthew Block, who had the first interception. And then up front, they really have some really big guys, tall, athletic, physical guys up front that really make things really difficult for teams. A guy like Jaden Bryan, who had probably the hit of the night where he nearly tore Trey Howard in half on a sack. So this is a very aggressive. It's going to be interesting what happens next week because there's another tough test for them when they have AC Raw.
Well, I tell you what, it is really interesting what's happening with Columbia area football, with Irmo, with White Knoll. Lexington won tonight, 35-21. You still have to respect Dutch Fork, even though they're struggling with their 5 losses. You know they can get it together anytime. So, and you mentioned AC Floor and others. So, good times for high school football around the Midlands. Thomas, thank you very much, sir. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Appreciate the report. Let's go to Kevin Selman, the voice of the TL Hanna Yellow Jackets. See if he can squeeze this in before the bottom of the hour. Got about 2 minutes. He'll be as fast as the Yellow Jackets offense, I'm sure. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Phil. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me. It was quite a night over against Jail Men tonight in a high scoring shootout of different teams. You know, Jail Men throws the ball all over the place, and you know we run that wing tee that we just continue to perfect. Coming into the game tonight, the Yellow Jackets are averaging over 9 yards a carry on the season. That's right, I said 9 yards a carry on the season, and they did that again tonight with over 400 yards in offense and a 56-35 win over Man in a game that was really tight at halftime, tied 21. The Yellow Jackets got a pick six to start the second half, which really flipped things in their favor, and was able to make a stop on defense and get a 2-score game, and just put the ball in the hands of Katie Patterson tonight. He had 16 carries, 222 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
6 touchdowns.
Yes.
Wow.
6 touchdowns. And like I said, the Jackets pulled away in the second half. But I tell you, Man's got a good team, and they throw the ball all over the place, and they've had some good wins this year, and they're going to be tough to beat come playoff time for sure.
Oh, no question. They have come a long, long way, but you guys are still the force up there. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate the report. Hannah wins it over Man, one of the big games in the state tonight, 56-35. Thank you, Kevin.
All right, Phil. Thank you.
Have a great weekend. Yes, sir. See you at the Valley. We'll be back. Bottom of the hour break. David Shelton around the corner, plus more reports and more scores. Don't go away.
This is Ian with AccuClean. With the holiday season and gatherings with friends and family quickly approaching, now is the perfect time to get your carpets, rugs, and upholstery cleaned. AccuClean is a veteran-owned and local carpet cleaning company located in the Midlands for over 20 years. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 to make sure your carpets are refreshed this holiday season. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. We hope to see you soon.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did. And just maybe someone else will be happy too. Go to organdonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Released a video saying he'll be traveling to Philadelphia October 9th to make a speech at the birthplace of our nation. News is fueling speculation he may run as an independent. This is SRN News.
The United States Constitution guarantees every American fundamental rights and protection of life, liberty, and property. Salem is celebrating our founding document with the special offer, a 1953 Oman U.S. Constitution lithograph. To understand the value of these lithographs is to know the story. A master lithographer immigrant named Theodore Oman came to this country to find the American dream. 70 years ago, in 1953, Oman printed a limited number of these exceptional Constitution lithographs. Go to SalemEventsStore.com to read Oman's entire story. America's most important document stands as a testament to all Americans to maintain their liberties, freedoms, and inalienable rights. Buy it and display it proudly. Buy a gift for your family and friends, and for all the teachers in your community.
Hey everybody, I'm David Jolly of the Higgins and Halloran Insurance Group. When you think about insurance, I ask that you think of me. I'm homegrown in the Midlands. I live in Lexington. I'm a lifelong learner, teacher, coach, and friend. There are many insurance agencies out there, and there's even more agents. How am I different? I served 20 plus years as a coach and teacher. I'll help you understand it. I've done this for a long time. I've been there for folks during horrible times in their lives. It's not easy, but it's when I can help the most. I'll explain the right insurance coverage, not try to sell it to you. Best of all, I'm an independent insurance agent. I want to be your trusted insurance advisor. I have no quotas to fill. I work for you, and I'll find you the best and most affordable coverage to fully protect you, your family, and your business. I'm always available to my clients, who I get to know as friends. I can help with personal insurance, like your homes, vehicles, or boats, your commercial, for business owners. And it doesn't matter how big or small your company is, I want to help. So when you think about insurance, think of me, David Jolly of the Higgins and Halloran Insurance Group. Online at higginsandhalloran.com or give me a call at 803-850-0054.
Fran Halloran here. Now listen closely to what I'm about to say. I'm a business owner, and many of you listening right now, you're business owners as well. The first rule in owning a business is this: don't waste money. I see business owners waste their marketing dollars all the time. Not me. I figured out a long time ago that spending my marketing dollars at the point was not only intentional, but extremely profitable as well. If you're a small business owner, you owe it to yourself to sit down with Kevin Cohen and ask him to create a custom marketing plan for your business. He's looking for folks just like you who believe in local to partner with him in 2023 and beyond. Trust me when I tell you, partnering with The Point works. You will see results and your marketing budget will no longer be wasted. Give Kev a call at 803-563-8558 and tell him the Money Coach sent you.
We're counting down to opening day of hunting season for the whole state in October. Get this, Shooter's Choice and Vortex Optics, bringing you the chance to have your rifle gear prepared for your hunt. October 6th and 7th, Shooter's Choice will have Vortex Optics in the house for factory optic days for all hunters and outdoor fanatics. Come out and join the Vortex Nation with a purchase of any Vortex optic that fits your needs at huge, unbelievable discounts. Long range shooting, carbine rifle, quick acquisition to the best light gathering all-purpose hunting scopes, and don't forget the red dot sights being used on many pistols. They are all on sale now. Every scope is fog-proof, waterproof, quick focus, and with the clearest lens in the industry. Oh, they also come with lifetime warranties. Shooter's Choice will professionally mount your new purchase for you. Check out the Razors, Diamondbacks, and Crossfire 2s, guaranteed to make your hunting package great. Visit Shooter's Choice on Sunset Boulevard in West Columbia. You won't be sorry when you score your first trophy of the season. The Vortex Nation is calling you, and the hunt is on. So make your first choice, your best choice. Make it Shooter's Choice.
We're back on the high school football scoreboard. Phil Kornblut, JP Barry here in Columbia. Let's bring in David Shelton now, who's with us after his game in the Low Country tonight. David, welcome in.
Hey, how's it going?
We're doing great. Great to have you with us. You watched Ashley Ridge beat West Ashley 31-20. What were the highlights?
The highlight is called Derek Sally, and that's the whole highlight because Ashley Ridge does not. He doesn't. I'm telling you, Phil, he didn't make the Shrine Bowl, and it's probably, if any Shrine Bowl coach is listening to this show and they saw his film and did not pick him, then they don't know football like they supposedly know football, because this kid is one of the most impactful football players I have ever seen in 36 years. The guy caught 6 passes tonight for 270 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he had a 6-yard touchdown run out of a Wildcat. He's 6'3", 200 pounds, runs at least a 4.5, and when he catches the ball, he runs about a 3.8 because the kid is amazing, and I've seen him 3 times this year, and I mean, I think he's got like 20 touchdowns now. He scores on kickoff returns. He was all of their offense last week against Fort Dorchester, and they lost. But I mean, Jeff Tate said after the game, Jeff Tate's been around for a long time and coached really good guys, and he said he's the best he's ever coached. And I tell you, he made a great comparison tonight. Because I asked him, I said, who? I said, I was sitting up there watching him and trying to figure out who would he compare to that has been in the past. And Tate said Brian Edwards. Wow. And I when I heard that, I was like, that's the guy. That's it. Yeah. He's big. He's strong. I mean, he caught a 6-yard pass tonight. They were trying to get a first down. It was 3rd and 9. He caught a 6-yard pass and got clobbered by 3 or 4 guys, stays on his feet, and goes 70 yards for a touchdown, untouched after that. And he caught a 41-yard touchdown. And then when they were trying to put the game away, it was 3rd and 13, and he caught a little out, 5-yard out, and turned it into 14 yards for first down. I mean, he is an incredible football player, And, you know, and I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you who shouldn't have made the Shrine Bowl, but I can tell you who should have made the Shrine Bowl. That kid. And, you know, and like Jeff Tate said after the game, he's like, that's okay. North-South, they have a more fun time at North-South, and he's going to be in that game. And I'm like, holy cow, if he don't make that, I might retire.
Well, North-South rosters are going to come out on the 11th, so we'll know next week on that. Let me throw this score. I'm going to go over all the scores here because sometimes I think we don't give all the scores enough. I'm going to do that, then we'll get back to our reporters. But, David, I just ran across this score. I can't believe it. It's in the fourth quarter, and it says Richland Northeast 73, AC Flora 37.
Wow. Yeah, that would surprise me.
That's coming off of ScoreStream now. That's coming off of ScoreStream, and you have to, trust that who's ever reporting it's being accurate. Now, what's interesting is the scores, reverse 73 and 37. I don't know if somebody's made that up and sent it in, or if that's the actual score, 73-37. That's just an odd score. Kind of hard to believe that many points are being scored, but maybe so.
Well, I mean, Richard Northeast got a great quarterback, but beating AC Flora by 40, I would have lost a lot of money had I been a betting man.
Absolutely. All right, stand by. I'm going to run through the scores. Then we got reporters standing by. We'll come back to you. So let's give you the blitz here of the high school finals that we have plotted on our sheets. Abbeville 56, Chesney 15. Belton Honeypath 55, Palmetto 21, Greenville 56, Berea nothing in double overtime. Burns 38, Boiling Springs 31, Southside Christian 42, Calhoun Falls 14, Chester 60, Union County nothing, Clover 48, Spring Valley nothing, Crescent 35, Walhalla 7, Dorman 26, Malden 12, Greenwood 24, Easley 7. It was Woodruff scoring last play of the game and then getting a 2-point conversion, beating Emerald 36-35, Rock Hill 52, Fort Mill 36, Powdersville 61, Fountain Inn 14, C.A. Johnson 52, Great Falls 6, Greer 28, Eastside 14, T.L. Hanna 56, J.L. Mann 35, 96-42, Landrum 14, Northwestern 45, Indianland 14, Westside 52, Pickens 7, Pendleton 42, Seneca 28, South Point 29, Lancaster 26, Wren 50, Southside nothing. Gaffney beat Spartanburg 19-14, St. Joseph's 44, Dixie 14, Daniel 56, West Oak nothing. Hillcrest 17, Woodmont 12, and York 39, Catawba Ridge 20. David, your thoughts about the upstate tonight?
Well, that man Hannah game went about as I expected. I thought J.L. Man could score, some points, but I thought defensively they would have a hard time stopping Hannah. Have we not got a Spartanburg Gaffney score? Did I miss you?
You missed me. Gaffney won it 19-14.
Wow. So Spartanburg's got 4 losses by like a total of not a lot of points. But they might be the best 4-4 team in South Carolina.
Hard to believe between Spartanburg and Dutch Fork, you've got 9 losses between them.
Yeah, and both teams are pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just that Dutch Fork, I called it last week. I thought White Knoll was going to beat Dutch Fork. And, I thought it would be a low-scoring game. Obviously, Dutch Fork's still having some problems on the offensive end trying to score some points. But, that's a good win for White Knoll. That, I know when you look at it, you say, well, Dutch Fork's 2 and, got 2 wins. How is that a big win? But you'd have to be sleeping in a cave for the last decade to not know that White Knoll beating Dutch Fork is a huge deal.
Absolutely. All right, to the Midlands. Midland Valley 55, Airport 7, Allendale Fairfax 33, Bethune-Bowman nothing, Andrew Jackson 56, Chesterfield nothing, Bamberg Earhart 62, Branchville 7, Blackville Hilda 54, Rich Spring Monetta 35, Nation Ford 34, Blythewood 28, Camden 41, Darlington 6, Keenan 53, Columbia nothing, Crestwood 56, Marlboro County, nothing. Dreer, 28. Orangeburg Wilkinson, 14. Clearwater Academy International, Florida, 34. Gray Collegiate, 27. Hampton County, 54. Edisto, nothing. Hunter Connor Tyler, 51. Williston Elko, nothing. Lake City, 22. Lakewood, nothing. Brooklyn Casey, 42. Lower Richland, 19. Newberry, 35. Mid Carolina, nothing. Irmo, 38. Ridgeview, 6. Lexington, 35. River Bluff, 21. Silver Bluff, 34. Batesburg, Leesville, 28. Strom Thurman, 48. Saluda, 3. Gilbert, 60. Swansea, nothing. Lugoff Elgin, 14. Westwood, 6. And White Knoll, 17. Dutch Fork, 14. Let's go to PD Grand Strand. Dillon, 42. Ainer, 16. Cheraw, 63. Central, 13. Carolina Forest, 49. Conway, 17. Marion, 34. Kingstree, nothing. Latta, 33. Hannah Pamplico, nothing. Loris, 48. Waccamaw, 3. Manning, 40. Georgetown, 13. Whitmire, 20. McBee, 56. Whitmire, 20. Myrtle Beach over Hartsville, 24-21. St. James, 40. Socastee, 35. West Florence, 40. North Myrtle, 30. And South Florence, 51. Wilson, 14. David, Myrtle Beach announces they're back tonight, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not sure Hartsville's best player played, and I don't even know if his quarterback played. So they might have been down a few guys, but doesn't matter. When you play, you gotta win the game, and that's a good win for Myrtle Beach. That's 2 good wins to open region play. And it looks like them and South Florence will pretty much decide that region, and Hartsville's now 0-2 in the region.
Low Country, Beaufort, 41. Battery Creek, 6. Hanahan, 55. North Charleston, 12. Lucy Beckham, 45. Bluffton, 22. James Island, 49. May River, 14. Cane Bay, 16. Stratford, 14. Somerville, 69. Stall, nothing. Ashley Ridge, 31. West Ashley, 20. And Woodland, 41. Ridgeland, Hardyville, 12. Skeeza, Williamsburg Academy, 26. Beaufort Academy, 13. Dorchester Academy, 38. Patrick Henry, 23. Greenwood Christian, 48. Carolina Academy, 35. Hammond beat Cardinal Newman, 35-20. Dillon Christian, 55. Kings Academy, 14. Lawrence Manning, 23. Portergal, 14. Northside Christian, 34. Anderson Cavaliers, 2. Wilson Hall, 52. 52. PD Academy, 14. I sound like David. Pinewood Prep, 35. Florence Christian, 12. And Ben Lippin, 22. Trinity Collegiate, 18. We'll drop in more scores now as they come in, but that's all the finals that we have gotten down to this point. So let's get to some guys who've been waiting. Really, 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 really appreciate your patience. And if you're on the line, we're going to get to you, so don't go away. So Doug Holliday with Lawrence tonight. Let's see, the Raiders. Lawrence playing in the upstate tonight. Doug, come on in and tell us about your game tonight and what went down. Thanks for joining us.
Well, Phil, thanks. I am calling you with a smile on my face for the first time this year tonight.
Whoa, look
Raiders,
at you.
Get their first win of the year. Go to Riverside tonight, win 18-17. Came back from behind twice, which we haven't done even once all year. Outgained Riverside 375 to 209, 9-minute advantage in time of possession. The offense played the best they played. Nick Dancy, the quarterback, 17-23, 204 yards and a touchdown. The game decider with 10.5 minutes to go. He hit Josh Goodwin for a 73-yard touchdown pass. That gave the Raiders the lead. Goodwin had 3 catches for 113 yards. And then the defense. Raiders stopped Riverside after Lawrence got the ball back with 6.5 minutes to go on their own 30 and ran out. The offensive line, who has been much maligned all year long, just bowed their necks and got it done. And the Raiders come away tonight. And if the offense were to block the punt out of the end zone for a safety, which in an 18-17 ball game made all the difference in the world. So just a great night, a lot of smiles on that sideline. It's been a rough year, but I'm so happy for these coaches and these players.
Pretty good team they beat. I mean, Riverside's a club that's improved over the last few years. You used to take that game for granted. Not anymore. That's a well-deserved, well-earned win there.
Yeah, Florence,
His first time in history. Riverside had ever beaten Lawrence. So, but yeah, just a great effort. Injuries have been tough all year. Lawrence brought 35 players up here tonight, dressed out. So, I mean, I just can't say enough. A lot of people may have given up on these guys. They didn't give up on themselves. And here we sit after going 0-7. We'll win tonight. We've got Wade Hampton and Eastside. Yeah, can't take anything for granted, but win those two, and you're playing a home game in the first round of the playoffs. Hard to believe, but they got it done.
Playoff system in South Carolina rewards everybody. Doug, thank you, my man. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week. Appreciate the report.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. We go to Lane Harris. Next in line, Lane, a story on that Myrtle Beach win tonight. And I said, this signals maybe Myrtle Beach is back. We kind of left you for dead after that season opening loss, but you didn't listen to us, did you?
No, these guys convinced me as well tonight. Hartsville came in with one of the top rushing attacks in South Carolina football, and they were missing Carmelo McDaniel, their senior running back, who came into the game with 900 yards rushing, but he had a adequate backup. Hakeem Waters ended up running for $150 against us tonight, and McKendry Daniels, Douglas, the quarterback, did play. He threw a long touchdown pass in the ball game. This game got off to a slow start for the Myrtle Beach Seahawks, went 3-and-out on their first 3 possessions in the first quarter, and that allowed Hartsville to take a 14-0 lead deep into the second quarter. But with about 6 minutes to go in the first half, Gibson Goodrow wound up and threw a 42-yard stop-and-go route to John Simmons on the sidelines for a touchdown to make it 14-7 at halftime. But, Phil, hold on to your hat. The second half was all Myrtle Beach. Hartsville only had one sustained drive in the second half of this ball game. So a tip of the hat to Jason Owens, the defensive coordinator, and the defensive effort put forth by the Myrtle Beach Seahawks. And get this, Jamek Sinclair coming in for an injured Malachi Washington runs for a touchdown at the end of the third quarter to give Myrtle Beach its first lead of the game, 17-14, and then runs for another one with 1:49 to go in the ball game to give Myrtle Beach the 24-21 lead. Hartsville gets the kickoff on the 20-yard line. They run a 30-yard screen pass on the second play from scrimmage to get out to midfield. But 3 downs later, on 4th down, their quarterback, McKendry Douglas, fumbles the mesh point handoff, and Tyreek Hanna falls on it on a 4th down play at midfield, and Seahawks are able to run out the clock for a 24-21 win. This game was won on 4th down. The Myrtle Beach Seahawks converted at least 3, maybe 4 4th down plays out of their offense, and on the defensive side of the ball, they had 3 4th down stops of a Hartsville offense that was running like gangbusters in the first half, but shut them down in the second half for a big win to go to 2-0 in the Region 6 4A.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend before you head up the mountains to Appalachian, and we'll talk to you next week.
Look forward to it. We'll be taking on the South Florence Bruins, the number 1 ranked team in the state, in Flowtown next Friday night. Can we pull the trifecta? West Florence, Hartsville, South Florence.
Thank you, sir. You have built up the drama to no end. Thank you so much, Lane Harris, voice of Myrtle Beach High. We got to run to a break. We'll come back and get more reports. Just a moment. Want to thank the guys who are holding on. Chris Deering. We'll get to you. Hugh Gray from Newberry. Stand by. We'll get to you as well. And David Shelton is hanging on too. He's got nowhere to go, so he'll rejoin us as well. And we'll update more scores for you too as we add them to our sheet. Going to hit the break here on the scoreboard. Be back in a moment.
Look no further than Founders Federal Credit Union for all your mortgage loan needs, whether you're a first-time home buyer or upgrading your space. Founders has many loan options to fit your lifestyle and your budget, such as low fixed and adjustable rate and flexible terms. Plus, Founders never charges PMI, private mortgage insurance. Our mortgage loan officers are here to answer your questions and help you start the home buying process. Stop by an office or visit foundersfcu.com to apply for a mortgage today. Federally insured by NCUA, membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply. Equal housing lender.
Touchstone Energy cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
All right, JB swears this is a true score. Richland Northeast 73, AC Flora 58. My goodness, don't want to have to write the story on that game or try to describe it. But what an offensive showcase. RNE 73, AC Flora 58. We'll talk more about that with David coming up. But want to get to the story on the Newberry win tonight. And Hugh Gray joins us to tell us about the Bulldogs' victory this evening. And Hugh, welcome into the high school scoreboard. Great to have you with us. Big offensive night and great defense, huh?
Yeah, it was, Phil. Thanks for having me. Really enjoy having you up in Newberry, so you're going to have to come back sometime.
Yes, sir.
But it was rivalry night here in Newberry. Newberry taking on the Mid-Carolina Rebels, and close in the first half, but Newberry exploded for 21 points in the second quarter and then just rode the D in the second half to a 35-0 win over Mid-Carolina. So the Hedgepath Trophy will rest in Newberry for another year, and that puts Newberry at 3-0 in the region. Newberry's been kind of feeling itself out, I think, a little bit this year. Newberry has a quarterback, Ken Caldwell, in his third start tonight. He's really growing into the role. He's always had good feet, but really showed a nice arm and some good decision-making at the quarterback position. Cole Hutchinson, B.J. Jones on the ground tearing it up, and then some receivers like Jamel Howes and Noah Mills, really a threat downfield. But like you said, it was offense for Newberry and defense for Newberry. Newberry had 378 yards total offense and held Mid-Carolina to 91 yards total offense on the night.
Fantastic performance. So you mentioned they're undefeated in the region, 3-0?
So far, yep.
Very good.
3-0.
Have they decided what they're going to do with Gray Collegiate, as far as you know?
Well, that was announced tonight, and that game had been on the schedule for next Friday, but as I understand it, that game is not going to be played.
And so you take a loss?
Yep.
At least on paper.
Yeah, that's why I'm back. Yeah, that's why I was bragging about the 3-0 right now.
Yeah, really. Okay. Well, so you guys, no game for y'all next week then? Y'all just take the weekend off?
Well, the Bulldogs do. We're going to carry Whitmire's game on, possibly carry Whitmire's game on the radio. So
okay.
We might be doing that one.
Very good. Well, give us a call. Love to hear from you.
All right. We will. Thank you, Phil.
And thank you so much for the report, Hugh. Really appreciate it.
Very welcome.
Thank you. Let's see if we can get Chris Deering on before the top of the hour break. He was at that White Knoll Dutch Fork game. Okay, can't wait to hear this. Take it away, Chris. White Knoll got it done.
Yeah, White Knoll got it done. It was a very impressive win for the Timberwolves. I'm going to give you just a quick rundown. I know you have to get some break.
Mm-hmm.
White Knoll took a 3-0 lead in the first quarter, kicked a 22-yard field goal, and then right before the half, about a minute to go left in the first half, Austin Cunningham caught a 23-yard touchdown pass from Landon Sharp to give the Timberwolves a 10-0 halftime lead. And you thought, well, this thing might get out of hand a little bit in the second half, but here comes Dutch Fork. They didn't go away without a fight. They take the opening kickoff to start the second half. Maurice Anderson goes 85 yards. They go up, so it's 10-7 after that. Dutch Fork gets the ball back, gets their best drive of the night, goes down the field, scores a touchdown. That was a John Hunt 8-yard pass to Ron DePietro, and that gives Dutch Fork a 14-10 lead in the third quarter. And now you're thinking, well, here comes Dutch Fork. They're not going away without a fight. They're the defending champ for a reason, and they might have righted the ship with that big kickoff return. Well, the first play of the fourth quarter, Sharp hits Tyon Fanning with a 25-yard touchdown, gives White Knoll the lead back 17-14, and then Caleb Geronimo, he picks off a pass in the fourth quarter. He causes a fumble later in the fourth quarter that White Knoll recovers, and the Timberwolves are able to run out the clock and win this one.
Best name in high school football. Give it to me again. Geronimo?
Caleb Geronimo.
Gotta love that.
He's got a brother on there, Devin Geronimo, as well.
That's fantastic. Well, that is a terrific win for White Knoll, and it really establishes them as a team to beat now in the Midlands with that victory. Chris, thank you very much. Look forward to reading your stuff from Prep Zone, South Carolina, Prep Red Zone, South Carolina. Have a great weekend. Be back at the top of the hour.
Local in the morning, afternoon, and evening. Columbia's local talk radio experience. 107 The Point. Make thepointradio.com. The Point. The Point.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Tasha Stevens. The United Auto Workers Union says it will stop expanding its strike.
The reason? UAW President Shawn Fain says General Motors made a breakthrough concession on unionizing electric vehicle battery plants.
We were about to shut down GM's largest moneymaker in Arlington, Texas. The company knew those members were ready to walk immediately.
Fain did say more plants could be added to the strikes later, but the outlook is encouraging.
We are making significant progress. In just 3 weeks, we have moved these companies further than anyone thought was possible.
The union wants pay raises, cost of living pay, and restoration of pensions for new hires. Car makers say raising labor costs could make their vehicles more expensive than competitors like Tesla. I'm Ed Donahue.
President Biden says he believes the latest jobs numbers amount to good news for the economy.
The president is touting the creation of 336,000 jobs in September, which was a surprisingly strong number.
The unemployment rate has stayed below 4% for 20 months in a row, the longest stretch in 50 years.
Asked why most Americans don't feel good about the economy, the president blamed the press for emphasizing bad news. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Candidates for Speaker of the House will not take part in a televised forum next week. According to reports, lawmakers pulled out of the event after Fox News announced Representatives Jim Jordan, Steve Scalise, and Kevin Hern would take part. It comes after Kevin McCarthy was forced out of his role this past week. Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says he has a major announcement on the way. Last month, he released a video saying he'll be traveling to Philadelphia on October 9th to make a speech at the birthplace of our nation. News is fueling speculation he may decide to run for president as an independent candidate. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The United States Constitution guarantees every American fundamental rights and protection of life, liberty, and property. Salem is celebrating our founding document with the special offer, a 1953 Oman U.S. Constitution lithograph. To understand the value of these lithographs is to know the story. A master lithographer immigrant named Theodore Oman came to this country to find the American dream. 70 years ago, in 1953, Oman printed a limited number of these exceptional Constitution lithographs. Go to Salem Event SalemEventsStore.com to read Omen's entire story. America's most important document stands as a testament to all Americans to maintain their liberties, freedoms, and inalienable rights. Buy it and display it proudly. Buy a gift for your family and friends, and for all the teachers in your communities. There is a limited number, so act today. Go to SalemEventsStore.com to get your exclusive 1953 Omen U.S. Constitution lithograph while supplies last. That's SalemEventsStore.com.
Stocks got a boost to close out the week, Seth Sutel reports.
Stocks shook off a weak start and rallied to a higher close on Friday. That came after investors found things to like in a mixed report on the U.S. jobs market. The S&P 500 rose 1.2% after erasing an earlier drop of 0.9%. The Dow added 288 points. That's about 0.9%. The Nasdaq Composite flipped to a gain of 1.6%. Stocks initially tumbled after the strong jobs report raised worries about upward pressure on inflation. That seemed to increase the likelihood that the Federal Reserve would keep interest rates higher for longer. But the employment report also included some more encouraging nuggets for the inflation fighters at the Federal Reserve, including a moderation in wage growth. Seth Sutel, New York.
Jeff Bezos is entering the internet space race. The Amazon founder launching 2 prototype satellites for his broadband constellation. It will put over 3,200 satellites into orbit over the next few years. News and analysis at townhall.com.
When I said my buddies and I would do anything for each other. You're fighting to regain your life. When I came home injured, there are people I can count on, like DAV.
DAV, Disabled American Veterans, stands behind America's veterans to make their transition back home easier with free services and help getting the benefits they've earned. Help us fulfill the promise to our men and women who served. Go to DAV.org to learn more.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
This is the Founders Federal High School Football Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. Coming up, scores and reports from across the state and analysis from David Shelton. The Scoreboard is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now your host for the High School Scoreboard, Phil Kornblut.
Welcome back in, everybody. High School Football Scoreboard, Sports Talk Media Network. Great to have you with us on this Friday night. Hope you've enjoyed your high school football wherever you've taken it in. Hope you've enjoyed listening to us and all our terrific reporters across the state. Let's welcome back in David Shelton from the High School Sports Report, Charleston Post and Courier. From everything you've heard tonight so far, scores and reports, what has shocked you the most?
Shocked me, I would say Richard Northeast hanging 70-something on AC Florida. That is a shocker.
Yeah, I want to see some details. I'm wondering how many touchdown passes the young Wilson kid threw for. Well, he probably threw for about maybe 6 or 7 or 8. We have 73 points. We'll have to find out. Maybe Lou will call us or somebody will call us. Catch you up on some scores that we've just added to our score sheets. Andrews beat Mullins 53-26. Midland Valley over Airport 55-7. Calhoun County over Denmark-Oler 28-14. Pillion 21, Fox Creek 3. Still looking for Buford at North Central and North Augusta and Aiken in the Midlands. We are complete in the PD Grand Strand in the upstate, looking for McCormick and Asheville Christian, and also Travelers Rest Carolina. I haven't seen that one posted yet. Otherwise, we're good there. Low Country, new additions, Berkeley 52, Wando 10, Colleton County 26, Hilton Head 21, Fort Dorchester 49, Goose Creek 35, Baptist Hill 64, Military Magnet 31. David, what's your thoughts now just around Low Country football? What are you seeing? What kind of races are being formed here down the stretch? What things are you taking away from the Low Country football so far?
Oh, well, it looks like in the 4A region, James Isle and Lucy Beckham are on a collision course at the end of the year for that region title. They're both undefeated. Both should be undefeated when they play. Philip Simmons is going to win their region in 3A, and they're undefeated. And then, right now you'd have to say Somerville is the leader in the clubhouse in Region 7 5A, but they still got to play Ashley Ridge and Fort. So, but I think Ashley Ridge, they've got a great player in Derek Sally, but their defense has been run on pretty good the last 2 weeks. And they went 1-1. And, that region over there in Region 6 with Goose Creek, Cane Bay, Stratford, Wando, and Berkeley. I don't know. I guess you'd have to say Cane Bay is probably the favorite right now, but they had a tussle tonight with Stratford, and, Goose Creek scored 35 points, but give up 49 to Fort Dorchester. So that's not a region game. So it really doesn't matter, because that's a non-region game, but, and there's a lot to be decided in the next 3 weeks. And then, there'll be some good football.
Yes, I would expect so. One thing about Lucy Beckham before tonight's game, of course, they gave up 22, but they had given up on average 4 points per game going into tonight. Is that a reflection of their schedule, or are they that good on defense?
Well, I've seen them play, and they are good on defense, but that is somewhat a reflection of their schedule. They played a pretty good offensive team tonight. In who they play, Bluffton. But, they do have a good defense. They've got a lot of experience on that side of the ball. They're very physical. They run. Jamel Smith is a former linebacker, so he's the head coach, and he has a defensive mentality. But I really think defensively, their biggest test is going to be when they play James Island, because James Island's got a lot of offensive weapons.
Okay, so we gave you the scores, the new ones we have in from the Low Country. Skeeza, latest additions, Holy Trinity beat Newberry Academy 46-6. Hilton Head Christian 37. Thomas Hayward 7. Still looking to get a few more of these Skeeza scores in, and we'll pass them on as we get them. And before the night is over, we'll go back through all the scores for you one more time, and also hopefully we'll have a few more folks calling in with reports from games across the state of South Carolina. So, David, let's kind of cherry pick here on some of the top games and get your thoughts on the results and where we're heading. Let's go to Spartanburg and Gaffney. Again, traditional rivalry game, one of the all-time great rivalry games in the state for so many years, played the last weekend of the regular season, and it usually meant a region championship. And then, both teams would go on and make a deep run in the playoffs. It was a close one with Gaffney winning it 19-14. What do you think this means up there? What does it say about these two teams?
Well, Gaffney is Gaffney. Actually, Spartanburg defensively has to be pretty pleased to hold them to 19 points, because they can score a lot of points. But Spartanburg's offense is just not clicking on all cylinders. And, I saw a tweet earlier. I got to sneeze.
Yeah, bless you.
I saw a tweet earlier where Gaffney winning tonight makes the series 53-52 and 2.
Oof.
So now, when we talk about rivalries, what's the old, Spurrier used to say, or I can't remember who wins some games. That is a true measure of a rivalry when you played over 100 times, and the advantage is +1 now for Gaffney. So that just shows you when what that whole thing has been like over the last however many years.
Yeah, truly one of the great rivalries in South Carolina. They had another great edition of it tonight, and Gaffney gets the upper hand, 19-14. Let's talk about TL Hanna over Man, high-scoring game there. Of course, Hanna does what Hanna does. That's run the football extremely well. Had a young man rush for well over 200 yards. They win it 56-35, and Man throws the ball and throws the ball well. So Hanna's defense gave up some touchdowns, gave up some points, but they're obviously capable of outscoring a team that can score itself.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Hanna play, but from talking to people, defensively, they're not a great defensive football team. They're good enough, but their offense is so disciplined and so productive that they don't have to be great. Now, if somebody were to figure out a way to slow them down and hold them to like 21 points, it could be trouble. But other than Westside, nobody's been able to do that. So, and I think, I don't remember the Westside score, but I think that was pretty high scoring. I can't remember.
52-7. Oh, you mean when they played each other?
Yeah.
Yeah. Westside put 52 on the board tonight against Pickens. So, I mean,
they got a good offense.
Yeah.
Those two Anderson schools right there. They got plenty of offense and unbelievable facilities and stadiums and like I said on Sports Talk tonight, some folks in the upstate are spending a lot of money on their stadiums and weight rooms and their locker rooms and things like that. And that's the big difference right now between the upstate and down here in Charleston. It's not close money wise.
Northwestern, big win over Indian Land, 45-14. Can't forget about the Trojans and the team that they have, and they're going to certainly be heard from come postseason.
Yeah, I mean, I still think we're headed for a rematch in 4A. I think South Florence and Northwestern are going to meet again, which will be a lot of fun because it kind of South Florence won it last year. Might have run the score up a little bit at the end, depending on your perspective. But so I think Northwestern wants another shot at them. But I tell you, South Florence shows no signs of a letdown each week. They just come out and just roll people.
How you like that matchup next week with Myrtle Beach over in Florence?
Well, I think Myrtle Beach, obviously they're feeling really good right now, but I would not pick them to beat South Florence. I would think that the way South Florence is playing defensively, they're just not giving up a lot of points. Last year it was the offense scoring 50 a game. This year the defense is really strong, and their defense, I think, if I read this right on Twitter, I think they've scored a defensive touchdown in every game this year. I don't know if I read that right. I have to go back and look, but I thought that's what it said because they scored one again tonight. And, it's hard to beat a team if you're letting their defense beat you. If they're scoring more points than you're scoring with your offense, that's pretty hard to beat them.
Go to the Midlands now. Of course, we talked about Dutch Fork, their situation. We talked about White Knoll, their win, Richland Northeast, and their incredible win over AC Flora, 73-58. But let's talk about Irmo. Irmo beat Ridgeview 38-6. And let's talk about Lexington. Lexington beat River Bluff 35-21. So those two schools over there near the dam area and having great years between the two separate levels, of course, but both are going to be heard from in the postseason. Probably going to, setting up for both to make deep runs here. What do you think about those two clubs and throw White Knoll in the mix there as well?
Yeah, I think what Irmo made a pretty strong statement tonight, kind of like what they did a couple of weeks ago when they beat Hartsville at Hartsville. I said earlier I thought South Florence was going to win Lower State, but it's not a foregone conclusion because I think Irmo is good enough. Irmo could win the Lower State. White Knoll with that win tonight, and Lexington. You mentioned Lexington; they still got to go play Dutch Fork and White Knoll. But as it shapes, we can't get ahead of ourselves. But Lexington White Knoll game might be for the region title, and that would be one that nobody said they picked at the beginning of the year.
See if I've got some details on a couple of these games here from Lou in the Midlands area. See if he's put up any details about some of the stats, but he hasn't yet. So I was looking for the numbers on that Richland Northeast. I'm just going to be amazed at the final offensive numbers, total offense and touchdowns. It's got to be a record for Richland Northeast to put 73 points on somebody, which, what's interesting, David, is you got Richland Northeast kind of in a resurgence with their quarterback. And Coach Wilson, of course, is a fantastic coach. There's no question about it. And then you got Spring Valley, on the other hand, which is winless so far this season and really struggling. And we thought, and they too have a very fine quarterback, and thought that they would have a good year, but it hasn't been the case for them at this point.
Yeah, Spring Valley's really struggled, but going to Richland Northeast, I think what Wilson has done is pretty remarkable, and that win tonight is a signature win. That is a win that, as a coach or as a program, you need to validate what you're putting together and what you're doing. And AC Flora is AC Flora. I mean, any other year they would beat Richland Northeast, and they would contend for state titles. And so this is it's a signature win for Richland Northeast. And again, I don't know if they scored some defensive touchdowns. I'll be doing the same thing when I'm off the air. I'm going to be looking up how they score 70-something points on AC Flora.
Might try and get Coach Wilson on the line here if we can. Before we hit the break, gosh, I hate to bring up this the elephant in the room and beat the dead horse, but Fairfield Central's having a great year. They're ranked. Yet they're not going to play Gray Collegiate. They're going to take the loss. Newberry is undefeated in the region, yet they're not going to play Gray Collegiate. They're just willing to take the loss. I mean, I don't know. Would these teams get blown out by Gray Collegiate? Could they not be competitive, or is it just the principle for which they're standing by, which they're standing on? The principle is greater to them than the idea of going out competing and trying to win.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's all on principle. I mean, I think Gray would beat Fairfield. They'd be favored to beat Fairfield. They'd be favored to beat Newberry. But I think both those teams could be quote unquote competitive. And I was thinking about this tonight while I was driving home listening to scores. Stall High School plays in the 5A region with West Ashley, Somerville, Ashley Ridge, and Fort Dorchester, and they got beat 69-0 tonight. Last week they got beat 66-0. You know what? They're showing up. They knew going into tonight they had -0 chance of beating Somerville. Everybody knew that, but they didn't forfeit. They showed up and they played the game. And they're going to get blown out by Fort Dorchester, and they're going to get blown out by Ashley Ridge. And it's not being mean. My point is, I give those kids and those coaches a lot of credit because they could easily just forfeit and not take the beating. But they're showing up every week and taking the beating, but they're showing up. That's the whole thing. It's competition. You show up. And, and I think that's I think that's what's so sad about this whole situation with Gray Collegiate and those schools up there is, you show up and you play, and whatever happens, but you got to show up. And I give a lot of credit to a team like Stall. They got to win. They won a game earlier in the year. They play some non-region games that they can compete in, but everybody knew going into that region that it was going to be rough. I mean, they're a 4A school enrollment-wise, but they play in the 5A league because they didn't want to travel to Beaufort a bunch of times. So they're taking the hit, but they're showing up. I mean, they're not calling Somerville on Thursday saying, you know what, we got like 28 players and y'all could score 100. Somerville could score 100 on them.
Yeah,
they scored 69, but they showed up. And they tried and they compete, and I'm sure they're embarrassed. The last 2 weeks they've been beat 135-0 or whatever, but they're showing up, and there's something to be said for that, and they should be recognized for that. While other schools are forfeiting because they think they might get beat, Stall showing up and taking the whipping.
Yeah. Again, I think it goes back on the argument, the principle. with the Gray situation, those schools believe that Gray's acquiring players, acquiring talent in a manner that they don't. And I guess in the case of Stahl and Fort Dorchester, I guess they feel like it's equal how they acquire their talent. Just Fort D's just got a much better program and much more talent, but they acquired it in the normal way, I guess, is how you look at that. We got to run to the break. We'll pick back up on it, David, if you like, after the break. Get back over these scores here in a little bit. May try and hit up a couple of coaches. Wait and see if a few other reporters call in as they're straggling home tonight after a long night at the stadium. You're listening to the Founders Federal High School Football Scoreboard across the state here on the South Carolina Sports Talk Media Network. Be back in just a moment.
Relax with an auto loan from Founders Federal Credit Union. Here at Founders, we understand that it's more than just a vehicle. It's a part of your life's journey. From hobbies changing to families growing, it's with you along the way. Our low fixed rates can get you on the road in a ride that fits your life. Not sure what you want? Apply early for a pre-approved spending limit so you know what to look for before you start shopping. Head over to one of our 41 convenient office locations or visit foundersfcu.com to apply for an auto loan today. Federally insured by NCUA. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
Touchstone Energy cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
Football season is upon us, and that means Columbia is welcoming fans from around the corner and across the country. No matter where you're from, Gamecocks love coming together for game day energy that can only be found in South Carolina's capital city. Book hotel rooms, find pre- and post-game activities, and plan your tailgate spread with local favorites from pimento cheese to barbecue at experiencecolumbiasc.com. We'll see you soon, and go Gamecocks!
We're back on the high school football scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union, here on the Sports Talk Media Network. And just communicating with Sam Albuquerque with the Greenville News, and he is going to give us a quick call here momentarily. He was at that Spartanburg-Gaffney game, so we'll stand by and wait for him to give us a call. And hopefully that'll happen here momentarily. He can give us the recap of that one. Georgia Force Christian defeated the Greenville Hurricanes, David, 50-0. So there's that score. And here comes Sam. Hold your comments on that for a moment because I want to get right to Sam Albuquerque, who's giving us a call very quickly after his game tonight. So we'll go ahead and get Sam right up on the air because he kind of hinted that he is trying to move along. This is Sam, correct? Let's welcome in the guy with the best name and prep writing, Sam Albuquerque. And thank you for joining us. Tell us about that win tonight by Gaffney.
Yeah, great game. Very weird game at times. You know, there was a portion there in the late third quarter, early fourth, where I think there was 3 interceptions on like back-to-back plays, a couple of goal line stops. It was a very interesting game, but Gaffney comes out on top. Riley Staton Their senior transfer quarterback had a great game. I think he threw for over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jaden McDowell, again, continues his phenomenal sophomore season. Over 100 yards receiving, I think 93 yards rushing. Really the difference on the Gaffney offense. He breaks an 80-yard run to open up the scoring, I think, in the first quarter. It was about, and overall, it was just a great game. Spartanburg's defense played really well. Really, the issue for Spartanburg was their starting quarterback, junior Tamonte Johnson, suffered what I heard was an Achilles injury. I'm not quite sure. It was a lower body injury for sure. Probably below the knee. He was limping. He tried to go out there. He had a heck of a game. He made some amazing plays, but it really was. At the end there, he wasn't able to help lead his team, and I think their sophomore backup quarterback Trey Burke got put in a really tough spot against a great Gaffney defense, and Gaffney really just kind of edged it out with their running game, with playing on the outside and exploiting what isn't necessarily a weakness for the Spartanburg defense, but definitely not their strongest point on that team. But heck of a game and heck of a win for Gaffney, and really setting up that Week 10 matchup against Burns for the region championship.
Yeah, did it come down? We got about a minute for you. Did it come down to any kind of play at the end, or did Gaffney just have the lead and they were able to run out the clock?
Yeah, there was an Andrew Roop interception. Spartanburg in the red zone. Like I said, T.J. Johnson was injured, so he got flushed out of the pocket, was thrown off his back foot, and really, I don't think he saw the linebacker there. Andrew Roop, the senior the junior linebacker for Gaffney, picks it off, returns it, somewhat 70 yards, puts Gaffney, really in position there, because the Spartanburg defense was able to stifle their, the Spartanburg goal, or the Spartanburg defense was able to stifle the Gaffney goal line offense. And so the only way Gaffney, was able to score was because they were pushing the ball downfield and breaking big plays. So, they were able to figure that out. So that really was, I think, the difference maker, because on that, I think the next drive, Gaffney scores, takes the lead again, and Spartanburg never gets it back.
Hey, Sam, thank you for the quick call, man. Enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to you next week from your game. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sam Albuquerque, Greenville News. You can read him there. We'll be back after the break.
Bring smiles to all when shopping online with Dell Technologies Gift Guide. Whether it's for the artist, the entrepreneur, the student, or the streamer, you'll find the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Dell.com/gift guide makes gifting easy with a carefully curated selection of our best tech. Shop now to explore our innovative PCs like the XPS 13 laptop, powered by the latest Intel Core processors, plus this season's top accessories. Visit Dell.com/gift guide today to get a jump on your holiday gift list. That's Dell.com/gift guide.
Hustle up, we've got 8 more floors to go before lunch.
Sarusha's window washing business is reaching new heights.
Wipe, and let's roll.
They need more certified cleaners to keep online reviews crystal clear.
Team, I know we're hustling, but watch for streaks. Candace, can you give me a hand over here?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Get it or already have. Fewer than 3 in 10 Republicans say they will. As of early October, 6% of Americans say they've gotten the shot. This is SRN News.
This decade may be the worst one yet to retire in. That's why you need the most current retirement information. For more than 30 years, Bob Carlson has been helping investors stay ahead of turbulent markets and money-grubbing politicians. Now, more than ever, you need to subscribe to Bob Carlson's Retirement Watch. Bob makes sure his Retirement Watch readers are getting independent advice on all aspects of retirement. It's advice you won't get anywhere else. When you subscribe to Retirement Watch, you'll get 12 months of the newsletter. You'll also get 5 model portfolios. Plus, you'll get immediate access to the Retirement Watch private website with tons of special reports. You'll also get an online spending calculator to help you deal with inflation. Plus, exclusive conference calls with Bob Carlson, answering your retirement questions live, all for as little as $49.99.
You are cheap. No, I'm not. You are cheap. No, I'm not. You are cheap. No, I'm not. You are cheap. Well, maybe I am. If you're buying a diamond ring for your wife, it's not cool to be cheap.
If you're buying airline tickets, it's very cool to be cheap and called Trip Amigo, where you can fly anywhere in the world and save up to 75% on over 500 airlines and 300,000 hotels. Plus, rental cars and vacation packages. Visit family, friends, or go on a once-in-a-lifetime vacation. Go ahead, be cheap. We have special fares we're not allowed to publish. When you book your airline reservations with Trip Amigo, you'll spend your travel money when you get there, not by getting there. Call Trip Amigo now and mention the travel code AMIGO and save even more. Call Trip Amigo now.
800-772-4165. 800-772-4165. 800-772-4165. That's 800-772-4165.
Have you filed for disability benefits but were denied by the Social Security Administration? Or do you need to apply and are overwhelmed with paperwork? Are you between the ages of 50 and 63 and can no longer work because of an illness or injury? Thousands of hardworking Americans are in your situation. They file for disability benefits and are unnecessarily denied their much-needed benefit check. Call now for a no-obligation, free evaluation. We can help you nearly double your chances of approval and get your benefit checks faster. We understand the physical, emotional, and financial impact. We'll share our insider expertise and help you get your disability claim filed and paid immediately. There is a time limit to apply, so call right now. Operators are standing by to help you.
800-721-7114. 800-721-7114. 800-721-7114. That's 800-721-7114.
We're counting down to opening day of hunting season for the whole state in October. Get this, Shooter's Choice and Vortex Optics, bringing you the chance to have your rifle gear prepared for your hunt. October 6th and 7th, Shooter's Choice will have Vortex Optics in the house for factory optic days for all hunters and outdoor fanatics. Come out and join the Vortex Nation with a purchase of any Vortex optic that fits your needs at huge, unbelievable discounts. Long-range shooting, carbine rifle, quick acquisition to the best light-gathering all-purpose hunting scopes, and don't forget the red dot sights being used on many pistols. They are all on sale now. Every scope is fog-proof, waterproof, quick focus, and with the clearest lens in the industry. Oh, they also come with lifetime warranties. Shooter's Choice will professionally mount your new purchase for you. Check out the Razors, Diamondbacks, and Crossfire 2s, guaranteed to make your hunting package great. Visit Shooter's Choice on Sunset Boulevard in West Columbia. You won't be sorry when you score your first trophy of the season. The Vortex Nation is calling you, and the hunt is on. So make your first choice, your best choice. Make it Shooter's Choice.
All right, we're back with you. High school football scoreboard. Sports Talk Media Network. Phil Kornblut, David Shelton, J.P. Barry. A couple of other scores we've been able to locate as we fill out our score sheets tonight. Timberland over Academic Magnet, 48-0. And let's see if there's anything else here that's brand new to us here. Oh, well, we're going to call this a final, though I don't know if it's final. It's been stuck on this for a long time. North Central 40, Buford 6. All right, so we'll count that as a final for now, unless we see something elsewhere. And we don't have Travelers Rest in Carolina yet, and we don't have McCormick yet. So that's all that's left for us out there. Make sure David's okay. David, you still with us? You hanging in there, bro?
I'm hanging in there, brother.
All right, man. Sound a little bit more like Bobby Harton than normal. So kind of got that.
You should have heard me on his show today. Him and me talking high school football. We sound like we're like walking advertisements for sore throats or laryngitis or what.
I know. Well, I had it for over 2.5 weeks. So if that's what you've got, you know what I can tell you what you're looking forward to. It ain't a lot of fun. Okay, let's see here. We've got a couple of folks waiting, so we appreciate that. Let me check out here where we're going. We've got let's see. I need a name. Again. from Union. Need my name. Chris, was it? Let's go. Hey, is this Chris in Union?
Hey, sir. Doing good, Phil. How are you?
Hey, doing great, sir. Thank you for calling in. Sorry about that. We were trying to make sure we had the right line with the right number. Thanks for hollering at us. Tough night tonight for the Yellow Jackets, huh?
Hey, yes, sir. Union County going on the road tonight, losing at Chester 60-0. Chester was as advertised. They came in, they were physical, they ran the ball extremely well. Union County been struggling here this season. Unfortunately, got some injuries on the O-line, on the defensive side, and they didn't stack up well with Chester tonight. But luckily, there's a bye week next week.
Yeah, going to take them a little time to recover from that. How would you describe the season to date for Union County, just in terms of getting better and trying to improve and sort of get back to where these guys used to be a few years ago?
Well, Phil, it's been tough. They played a really brutal schedule so far. A lot of really good 3A programs. The last 3 weeks have been at Chapman, at Clinton, and then tonight at Chester. You deal with those injuries when you're playing a tough schedule like that. When you're playing Newberry, Gaffney early on in the year, it's tough. And one thing I will say, they keep battling each and every week. While I know the scoreboard doesn't look like it, they've been fighting, but obviously the bye week, and then you have 2 home games with Woodruff and Emerald coming up there to close out the year. So you still have a chance at the playoffs.
That's all you can hope for. And this is Chris Woodson, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I got the name right. Chris, thanks very much, my man. Appreciate it. Know it's tough to talk about a loss like that, but we appreciate it. Enjoy the week off. We'll catch you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you from WBCU, longtime sports talk affiliate up in Union. Appreciate that very much. Oh, David, the glory days of Mike Anthony at Union County, huh?
Yeah, they have fallen on hard times for sure, but you're talking about a program with a great tradition, and I guess it just goes to show that even the great programs go through this. Berkeley for a few years was winning 2 games a year, and Randy Robinson kind of turned it around, and Coach Brown came back, and they didn't have no success. So Clinton has been down in recent years, but Corey Fountain's got them back to where they were. So I think every program is going to go through this kind of thing. It's a matter of to what extent. Do they go 0-10 or do they go 2-8 or how many years in a row is it like that? But every program's going to go through it. There's no question.
Let's go to, again, thanks to Chris for that call. Let's go to Scoop Lou Bajak from the state newspaper. Let's see. Do we know what game he was at? I'm not sure I know. Lou, I hope you're at Richland Northeast AC Florida tonight and get the details on that, because that would take up the rest of the show. Lou, welcome in. How are you?
Pretty good, Phil and David. How are you guys?
We're terrific. Where were you tonight?
Cardinal Newman and Hammond.
Oh, that's a good one. I kind of thought Cardinal Newman might give them a tussle. Did they give them a tussle better than the score indicates?
Yeah, they did. It was tied. It was 14-14 and early in the third quarter, and Hammond answered with a couple of touchdowns. Cardinal Newman got to 28-20, had the extra point block, but Hammond got a big touchdown run early in the fourth quarter, and then they had a good goal line stand a few minutes later, and were able to put things away. Impressive performance by Hammond, who, like you said, Cardinal Newman has come in undefeated, hadn't beat Hammond since 2001. So they had a lot of momentum. They thought this they're a very talented team, and they thought this could be the year, but Hammond definitely sent a message. They're not ready. They're still the Kings, and the state championship goes through them for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. How does this Hammond squad look to you? Do they look as deep and as strong as some of their previous championship teams? They're
very physical up front. That was the key tonight. They ran the ball. I don't know if they maybe completed 1 or 2 passes. They've been rotating quarterbacks, 3 or 4, but they only played a couple tonight. But they run the ball really well, and they're very sound defensively. Will McQueen had a great night. He had 5 sacks tonight. He was pretty impressive, and they got a good 1-2 punch at running back, and Manny Johnson and Vincent Holland are they were doing a great job in that line. Like I said, 4 seniors up front, a couple big tight ends, including Mike Tyler, and they did a great job setting the tone and running the ball tonight.
All right. Have you heard any of the stats from that RNE AC Florida?
I'm trying to get it. 73 points is unreal.
Yeah.
Golly, 73-58. Goodness. It's just something. RNE, they got an offense for sure. The Walt Wilson team, and you got Will Wilson. I'd like to see it. Yeah, I've already reached out to Coach Wilson, but I haven't heard back yet.
Yeah, we're trying to do the same thing, but I got to believe they're basically a throwing team, aren't they? Wouldn't you imagine they must have thrown for 7 or 8 touchdowns tonight?
Yeah, they got a pretty good running back. He's kind of a track guy, James Willingham. He was our player of the week a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they could run the ball too. But yeah, Will can sling it, and he also could run it too. So it'll be interesting to see what the final tally is. I bet got to be over 1,200 yards probably combined between the two teams.
Absolutely. Last thing, we'll let you go. I see where the high school league's going to have a meeting early next week talking about competitive balance. That committee they established to look into competitive balance. What do you expect to come from that?
We'll see. Maybe if they're going to have some suggestions. This is actually the 3rd meeting they've had. It's just the first one they're televising, or they're going to stream it. But yeah, they've already met twice, so we'll see. I know a lot of things are being tossed around, and I'm not sure. I haven't really heard details of the first 2 meetings, so we'll see if they got nothing could be voted on, but they could send some recommendations to the executive committee, and maybe we'll see and see if it's multipliers or there's a variety of things they've been talking about for sure.
Yeah, come up with some kind of plan. I think people just want to see some kind of plan to resolve this, so we don't have the nonsense that we've had to put up with this year with forfeiting
games, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's just okay. Thank you, Lou. Appreciate you, man. Have a great weekend.
You guys too. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou Bajak from the state. Let me correct something too, David. I said earlier talking about Richland Northeast Spring Valley. I think I got confused with Irmo's got a terrific quarterback. RNE's got a terrific quarterback. Not so sure Spring Valley has that terrific quarterback this year. So I think I might have misspoke on that. I was trying to see, but I don't think they do, which is maybe one of the reasons why they're struggling at this point. Travis, go ahead.
I just saw a score on Twitter, and has basketball season started in North Carolina, or is it? It's not started yet, is it?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. I just saw a score by a TV station or something. Said the lights went out with 1:22 to go, and Pender High School, I guess, leads. I can't remember who it was, but the score of the game with still 1.5 minutes to go is 106 to 83. 106 to 83.
That's amazing.
The highest scoring game. It says highest scoring game in North Carolina history. And I'm just assuming it's football because it's October.
Yeah.
But that's a basketball score. And, but you talk about having to be a writer covering a game like that. No, I just put the final score and say, congratulations.
That's just
106 to 83.
I mean, did they even try to play defense? Even an attempt?
I'd love to see the scoring plays, interception, fumble return, kickoff, punt return, long passes, long runs. I don't know I've never heard of the 2 schools, but it's somewhere near Wilmington, I think, because it was Coastline Preps that tweeted it out, and it said Wilmington. So, I don't know who they are. I don't cover North Carolina, but 106 to 83 is ridiculous.
No, yeah.
That's just crazy.
A few more Skeeza scores here. John Paul II, 47. Hilton Head Prep, 14. Heathwood Hall over Camden Military, 13-6. Bethesda beat Colleton Prep, 46-14. And let's take one more call, one final call, most likely, from reporters out in the fields. We welcome Travis Jenkins from the Great Falls and C.A. Johnson game tonight. And Travis, thank you for dialing us up. Welcome in, C.A. Johnson. Pretty good team, and they look pretty good tonight.
They did. Caleb Pearson, their quarterback, had a huge night. Had him with, 212 yards rushing. He caught a touchdown, and he threw a touchdown. Great Falls open, great drive, 12 plays, moved inside C.A. Johnson's 20, then threw a pick in the end zone. Pearson went 84 on the next play, and that was pretty much that. It was homecoming at Great Falls, so the parking lot smelled like fish. So that was cool.
What were they cooking?
Lots of barbecue, fried fish, steak.
Yeah.
They had a big time.
That's
DJs.
That sounds great. Now you've got C.A. Johnson's Caleb Pearson with 218 yards rushing, 80 yards passing, 5 total touchdowns. So he had a big game.
He did, and he caught a touchdown as well. They lined him up at running back on one play, and he caught a little screen pass and took it 26 to the house. And I just looked up that score that I guess David mentioned. It was Pender beat Hobton, and I don't know much about either, but yeah, it was 106 to 83. So,
man, how would you like to write the summary of that one, score by score?
Yeah. So I'm just going to say, get you some Richland Northeast. Get your little piddly 80, whatever it was, points.
Came up short. Okay, Travis, thank you. News and reporter.
Hey, thanks, Bill.
Appreciate it. Travis with the news and reporter covering Chester County. They've been there 150 years. I don't think Travis has been there 150 years, has he, David?
No, I think I'm older than Travis. I'm pretty sure I'm older than Travis. So, and you're older than me. So that makes you 180 years old. But listen to this, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
In that game, I looked it up on Max Preps. The score after the first quarter was 40 to 29. In the last quarter, Pender scored 36 points and Hopkins scored 20. So the line score was Pender 40 points in the first, 14 in the second, 16 in the third, 36 in the fourth. I can't even imagine. That's got to make national news. I mean,
yeah.
106. I swear to God, I thought it was a basketball score.
Are you looking at Pender, Pender? It's in Burgaw, North Carolina. Yeah, Burgaw, North Carolina.
That's them.
Yeah.
And the other school was Hobson, Hobbton. I mean, how'd you like to be a player from Hobson and you walk in the door and mom say, how'd y'all do? Well, we scored 83 points, Mom. Oh, you scored 83 points. You won? Well, no, we lost by 23.
Well, this Hobton team, I'm just looking here, David, back on September 8th, they defeated Spring Creek 64-14. So somebody's got some offense over there, or absolutely no defense. All right, hang on. We got to hit the break. Look up more about this. Come back and go over our scoreboard, get more from David, and wrap it up on this very nice Friday night in the Palmetto State with high school football and the fallish, coolish temperatures moving in. We'll be back in a moment. High School Scoreboard, and we're brought to you by, of course, Founders Federal Credit Union. Be sure to check them out. Be back in a moment.
Look no further than Founders Federal Credit Union for all your mortgage loan needs. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or upgrading your space, Founders has many loan options to fit your lifestyle and your budget, such as low fixed and adjustable rate and flexible terms. Plus, Founders never charges PMI, private mortgage insurance. Our mortgage loan officers are here to answer your questions and help you start the home buying process. Stop by an office or visit foundersfcu.com to apply for a mortgage today. Federally insured by NCUA, membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply. Equal housing lender.
Farm Bureau Insurance's agricultural roots and ties to South Carolina farmers have shaped the company's culture and work ethic, providing a unique customer experience. Customers are treated like people, not policies. Now, while other insurance companies may have a one-size-fits-all approach to handling customers, we believe you need to be valued and treated right. Our claims professionals work until the job is done, and our agents still believe in the commitment that comes with a handshake. Call Buddy Bridges in Clinton and Lawrence at 864-923-2174 for all of your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at scattle.org. Beef, it's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff Program.
All right. JP, you're a big Notre Dame fan. Pull your mic over. You're a big Notre Dame fan. You went to the Notre Dame Duke game last week.
I did indeed.
How was it?
It was
40,000.
I mean, yeah, because I went to the Notre Dame Duke game in 2019 when Notre Dame and Duke were in very different places. And I mean, this was probably the biggest Duke college game day in attendance and all that. And it was so fun. The beginning was so much fun. Notre Dame was really going to kind of have this masterful dominatory, and then they just stopped finishing opportunities and kind of let Duke hang in it. And with each moment where Notre Dame kind of didn't get a touchdown, field goal, or they had to punt instead of getting to field goal range, I had this little voice in the back of my head that was like piping up and saying, "Hey, don't let Duke hang in this because this is a good football team."
Came down to the last minute.
And then fast forward about a little over a minute left, they're up on the line down. I've been able really to move the ball the entire second half, and I'm my knees are shaking, and I'm freaking out. I turn to my dad and I go, "You're Notre Dame, go do this." And then they fall apart. And then I pause and I go, "You're Notre Dame, go do this." Yeah. And it was just pure euphoria after that because the way they did it. Sam Hartman took off at 16. My first thought was, No. Oh, my God. Because I thought he was going to pull it up and try and throw it across his body, across the field. Then he tucks it for real runs. And, the week after the Ohio State game where he came up short on fourth down 2 times, and this time he tucks it and runs from 17 yards out, first down on his shoulder. And then the Audric Estime touchdown run, I lost my mind. I was jumping up and down. And I started breaking into hysterics.
I was really only looking for a 30-second response, but
sorry. Yeah.
David, thank you, JP. David, I've looked up here the Pender Patriots, and they opened their season against the Lejeune Devil Pups from Camp Lejeune and beat them 88-34. And then apparently they took a forfeit win over the Union. Here we go with forfeits over the Union Spartans of Rose Hill. So they win that 1-0. They got their comeuppance against Wallace Rose Hill, and they lost that 56-14. Then they beat East Columbus 36-0. Then they lost to South Columbus 37-30. Then they lost to East Bladen 65-36. And then tonight they won 106-83. So go figure it out.
Man, I tell you what, if I'm the athletic director at that school, I'm charging $25 a ticket because they're going to get their money's worth. That's got to be the most, unless you're a defensive coordinator, that's got to be a lot of fun to watch.
It's got to be a nightmare for a defensive coach. Got to be a nightmare.
I looked up their stats. They're a running-oriented team, and they average 9.1 yards a carry and got 2 backs with 600 yards each. But they obviously don't play a whole lot of defense either.
No. Okay. Let's see. Do we ever get a Travelers Rest score? I'm trying to finish out the scoreboard here. We still don't have a Travelers Rest score, do we, JP? So maybe they didn't play. Carolina Academy and Travelers Rest. Sometimes that happens. You got them on the schedule. They end up not playing. I have not come across that score. Have not come across the McCormick score. David, if you survive to next week, hopefully you will. What do you see? What's the highlight couple of games that you got in mind for next week?
You'll have to ask me next week because I have no idea.
Haven't looked that far ahead. Are you a one day at a time kind of guy?
The way my life has been the last couple of years, I look at tomorrow. And after I check, nobody's playing tomorrow in high school, so I'll look next week. And I'm sure there's some pretty big games because a lot of region games. But I did get a Skis and Scores text to me. I guess you'd call this a hot text because it came from Baker. But Jefferson Davis beat Wardlaw Academy 36-26.
36-26 JD over Wardlaw.
Yeah, I think Jefferson Davis is ranked number 1 in the 8-man league or whatever. So I guess they're still undefeated.
Okay. Well, it's been a good night for high school football across the state. Do you have any speaking engagements coming up this week? If so, tell us.
Yeah, I'm doing a series. It's going to be different. I'm not sure how this is going to work out, but I'm doing a series, 3 classes on Monday at James Allen High School, and then 3 classes on Tuesday. Apparently, their health classes or whatever are reading a book about heroin, and the coach. Obviously, I have a relationship. I've spoken at James Allen to the football team and stuff, and they contacted me and asked me would I come and just share my story, and got to do, they're like 35, 40 minutes, 3 classes in a row each day. And I say, well, it's not going to be the same students, is it? Because, I don't want them to hear the same story. And, they said, no, it'll be different students. So that'll be an interesting thing. And I got something in the works with a middle school coming up. We haven't set a date. And, Scott Early called me last night. He wants to hook me up with some stuff in relation to the Coaches Association, I think. So
that's great.
Hope so. I hope so.
I've suggested to him that he gets you down for the North-South to talk to the kids down there. So, maybe that's something like they have in mind. David, appreciate you, man. Take care of that voice. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, Phil. Take care.
You too. Thank you, JP. Great job. Thanks to everybody that called in with reports. Thanks to you, the coaches, the players, the fans, the listeners. Have a great night.
7 to 9 on The Point. It's Kev and Brian in the morning. The news, the traffic 4 times an hour, and your daily forecast. Topics to wake you up, topics to make you smile and laugh. Hope you'll join us. WQX